What is up, guys? So, Detroit. I went to go see Detroit last night, the film directed by Kathryn Bigelow and starring John Boyega and Will Poulter, along with Anthony Mackie and John Krasinski. I went to go see that last night, and man, I mean, just first of all, if you haven't heard of the movie, you may have seen the trailers, but you don't really know what it's about. Let me go ahead and read the sort of synopsis. It's the movie Detroit is based on the Algiers Motel incident during the Detroit's 1967 12th Street riots. Now, the riots went on for 5 days. If you want to learn more about the riots or the incident, you can go look it up on Google or whatever website that you want. But I went to go see the movie. But yeah, like, first of all, one thing that throws me off the bat is the name Detroit. When you first hear it, you think Detroit, the movie is going to be about the Detroit riots. That's when I first heard the name Detroit. I was going down a list of 2017 in film upcoming movies coming out, and it said Detroit. And I was like, oh, dang, they're making a movie about the Detroit riots. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, this is about an event during the Detroit riots, which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with it. I just think that maybe it should have been a little more, the title should have gotten to that. I heard another reviewer on YouTube saying that maybe it should have been called Algiers or something like that to focus more on the hotel than the actual event, because that's what led some people on and they got thrown off. But anyway, moving on to the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I've heard people saying like so and so about the movie, like they didn't like the movie, that was good, they thought it was too much, they didn't get in depth enough. But I thought the movie was good, but there are just some key things that I'd like to talk about. There was a scene where Laz Alonso, he's from Jumping the Broom. He starred in Jumping the Broom. He plays, I think, a congressman or a mayor or something like that. And he's talking about, because the riots are already going on, and he's standing up in front of a group of African Americans and he's trying to talk them down. He's talking about the city has problems, but change is coming.
This city has problems, but change is coming.
But change will not come when we're tearing up our own neighborhood. And then that's the thing I've never understood. When something goes down, when something happens, somebody gets shot, there's a trial but somebody's on trial and somebody gets not guilty. People go and they trash their own neighborhoods. They rob from their own neighborhoods. They set their own houses, their neighbors' houses on fire. That's something I've never understood. I've never understood that. Like, I'm not saying go to other people's neighborhoods. I'm not saying go to other people's neighborhoods and trash those neighborhoods. And I know the people are angry and they need a way to express their anger, but burning down your own neighborhood isn't going to solve anything, which leads into my next point. There was a scene which showed people breaking down the windows, climbing in the windows, taking microwaves and stuff like that, and food and stuff. They were stealing it. The cops were in their cars just driving. You can hear the sirens in the back. Speaking of police, you can see the cops just driving by, letting them do it. There were people, they were just throwing Mazel Tov bottles in the windows and setting homes on fire. The cops, it seemed in the movie like some of the cops are actually there to stop the violence, and then there was another category of cops that were there just to make sure that they didn't go further than their neighborhood. Like, oh, we don't care what y'all do to your neighborhood as long as you don't go start entering into our neighborhood or you start entering into the major city. So yeah, there were some cops, they were just standing there like, hey, stay back, don't you go any further than this, y'all stay right here. And there were cops such as like Will Poulter's character and his goons or whatever. They were just driving by, just letting them do what they want. Like Poulter said, they're destroying the city, but they're not really doing much to stop it. They're just letting them tear up their neighborhoods all they want, as long as they don't go further than that. There's another scene. There's just like key scenes I'm pointing out in certain topics that I want to talk about. Will Poulter's character is a downright racist. Because like this, like some points in the movie where I'm like, okay, well, he's a racist, but he has some morals. Like, he's ruthless. He'll beat down on you. He'll call you with every racist slur in the book, but he has morals. He has some morals. There was like just a few moments in the movie where I thought that, but then he did something and I was like, man, this guy, Jesus. I was just like, because this is one scene, like, somebody's looting from a grocery store, running down the street. I don't want to say who, you just have to watch the movie because you'll recognize who it is. Running down the street, Will Poulter's chasing him down. He's like, hey, stop. Hey, halt right there. The boy is running, trying to run away. He's running down the street, trying to get away from the police. Shotgun in hand, fires at him twice and shoots him in the back. And that, I found that relatable to now, because there have been cases where an African-American man or whatever ethnicity, where a man, male or female, person, has been running away from the police. I mean, I'm not discrediting what they did. Like, I'm not just saying, oh well, it was just robbing, they didn't kill nobody. I'm not discrediting what they did. A crime is a crime, but they are running away from the police, whether it's from fear or they just don't want to get caught. The police do not have a right to shoot somebody in the back and then claim that they were in fear of their lives. They were running away from you. The reason you shot them in the back is to stop them, or you just didn't want them to get away. I understand, like, oh, well, we got to get these people off the streets, they're criminals. I understand that. People that commit a crime, they know the consequences, so they deserve to do the time. But they are running away from you. Why? What is the need for you to shoot them in the back? There is no need for that. See, now we have now in 2017 we have tasers. You get as close as you can to them, shoot the taser, and it will incapacitate them in most cases, unless they are under the influence of narcotics or alcohol or something like that. But in most cases, why don't you just tase them in order to incapacitate them? There's no need to shoot them. If you gotta shoot them in the leg. You shoot somebody in the back of the kneecap, they are going to go down. They're going to go down. If you shoot them in the kneecap, or if you shoot anybody mostly in the leg, they are going to go down. There's no need to shoot them with deadly force in the back, in the head, or anywhere. There's no need to shoot them while they are running away. There are better ways to incapacitate or stop a criminal. You know, it wasn't sad, but I just felt sorry for the man that he shot, because he shot him, he got away, and then he just fell underneath a car and he was just laying there and he just died alone underneath a car. He had groceries in his hand. I guess he was just trying to, like I said, I'm not taking credit. I'm not trying to say what he did was right. But he was taking food, he was stealing food, probably for his family, and he had got shot in the back. He actually told a lady that found him underneath the car to go get his wife, and he died alone underneath that car from being shot in the back by a police officer. Okay, moving on to my next point. There were characters that I wanted to point out. John Boyega, of course, you see him in the trailer.
A revolver. Do you carry a revolver?
I do have a 38.
You ever shoot anyone?
I didn't do it. Police.
Oh, here we go.
Enjoyed John Boyega's, not enjoyed, but I really understood John Boyega's character. Another character I saw early on was a character played by Chris Chalk. He plays Lucius Fox on Gotham. I enjoyed his character. He comes in with all the Caucasian officers and detectives. They come in there and they're cracking down on an illegal nightclub, I guess. And he's coming in there, and his character, when I first saw him, was not into that extreme, but reminiscent of Samuel L. Jackson from Django Unchained. He's going along with the racism of the white people He's like, oh well, you're doing so and so, or you need to get yourself up. And then like one character called him an Uncle Tom, and that's how many people have described Samuel L. Jackson's character. Like, oh, he's an Uncle Tom. Oh, all these racists on here, and he's going along with them just so he can survive. But I didn't see him to that extreme, like, because he carried a black man into another room, and that was actually his friend. He was just playing the role because he didn't want to get. He was just playing the role of in a way, Uncle Tom, because he didn't want to be singled out by his co-workers. He told them like, okay, yeah, I gotta do this for the show and stuff. He beat on the wall. His friend was screaming, please don't. Made it look like he was beating him up just so he could get the approval of the white police officers. And John Boyega said that later on in the interrogation room, that when a black man is among white people, he has to act a certain way, because if he doesn't, then he gets singled out. He's already singled out. John Boyega is already singled out by the black people as an Uncle Tom, because he was not a police officer technically. He's a security guard, but the black people see him as like, oh, you're rolling with them. You're supposed to be out here with us, fighting the good fight, and you out here with them, arresting your own people. But I got where their characters came from. They are out here to serve and to protect the good people from the bad people, whether it's black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever it is. They're out here trying to protect the good people from the bad people, but they get backed into a corner by their own people, by black people, thinking that they're out here, that they've given up their identity as a black person to roll along with the white people. And they also have to act a certain way around their coworkers so that they don't think that they're trying to like play one-sided, that they're just trying to stand up for the black people, if that makes any sense. A scene that I did not get, because I think his name's Jason Mitchell. He played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton. He's a resident at the Algiers Motel when the incident goes down, and he sees the National Guard and stuff. He looks out the window from like a higher floor on the motel, and he sees all the police and stuff walking around there, keeping a lookout throughout the city. And he takes on the brilliant idea that, hey, let's scare these folks. They out here thinking they can do whatever they want to us. Let's show them what it feels like to be afraid. He takes a starter pistol, sticks it out the window, and starts shooting it off. The police outside think it's a sniper, because they've been getting reports of sniper fire all day or all week, as long as the riots have been going on. And he continues the shots. His friends are even telling him, okay, man, that's enough, just stop it. He said, nah, man, we gonna show these people. And he keeps shooting off, and that draws, like, the more he shoots, people are trying to find the location of the shots. And it's like, oh, it's coming from the motel, and they see shots coming off in the window. They don't know the shot, like I said, it's a starter pistol. There are no real bullets being fired. First of all, I just think that was stupid on his part. He knows that tensions are high with the police and African Americans, and he decided to do that to teach them a lesson, thinking that there weren't going to be any consequences from his actions. And also, when the police finally get to the motel, and the police are asking the residents, they ask them,
You need to tell me where the gun is. I got all night, people. Tell me exactly what is going on here.
I'll do whatever I gotta do for y'all to tell me where the gun is. And nobody said nothing. Nobody said a thing. I didn't understand that. They were like, tell me where the gun is. I want you to tell me where the gun is. And they're just like, they all stand there quiet. I mean, I understand that they might have been afraid. They're like, oh, if I say something, these police gonna beat up on me or something. These police, they might shoot me or something like that. Because as soon as the police come in, they shoot one of the residents, and they're like, oh man, they killed him, oh, they're gonna kill us all, man. I understand being afraid of, if you say something, the police might act on it in a way that might harm you. But I don't understand when you say the officer. I just want to let you know there wasn't really a gun, because the boys that were up there in the room with him saw him shooting off the starter pistol. They knew it was a starter pistol. They knew it was a starter pistol, but they didn't say a thing. They all acted like they didn't know nothing, that they didn't know anything. They didn't say a word when asked about the gun. They didn't say that, sir, it was a starter pistol. It didn't really shoot. My friend was just playing around. He didn't mean for it to escalate like this. Didn't say a word. Even because some of the people left the room before he started shooting out the window. They didn't even, because they saw that it was a starter pistol, because he played a little prank on them before they left and he started to shoot. And they could have said, well, officer, I don't know anything about a rifle or a gun, but the guy that's staying upstairs, he had a starter pistol. He was playing around with it earlier, so he may be your shooter. Didn't say none of that. And I just feel like, I feel like them cops, they had an opportunity. They were going to do with it what they did. They were going to do with it what they could in the time they had. But I just feel like maybe, possibly, things could have gone differently if they would have just spoke up and said something. Because somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody said something earlier that I think you have the wrong house. I'm like, or maybe they have the right house, but there's not really a gun. Tell officer, I just want to say something. I think you might have the wrong house. Is that a possibility? Or maybe they're at the right house, but there is no gun. And the one thing that sort of tripped me out was at the end, when the words are scrolling at the end, it is revealed that the man's starter pistol was never found. They were hiding stuff. Because they looked outside. They said there's a bunch of police outside right now. You can see a lot of this in the trailer. You can see they're like, oh, there's a bunch of police outside. So they start hiding stuff. I guess they're hiding drugs, alcohol, stolen items, and I guess they hit the starter pistol too. So I guess wherever they hit it was a pretty good place, because they never were able to find the pistol. Next, I want to talk about the performances that stuck out to me. First of all, I just want to talk about Will Poulter. Gosh. Oh, hold on. What time am I on? Okay. I just want to talk about Will Poulter. This guy, because I know him I saw him in We're the Millers. I enjoyed him in We're the Millers. He was a pretty good comic relief, even though it was a comedy film. I enjoyed his performance in that. It was really funny. It was silly. It was a little awkward at times. I enjoyed his performance in this. I enjoyed it in this too, but gosh, just in the opposite direction. Oh, he was just... If you had to look up the word racist in the dictionary, Will Poulter's character from Detroit would be the picture beside the definition. Gosh, you can see some of his performance in the trailer. You can tell in this trailer, like, oh man, this guy's just a guy you don't want to get in the face of.
You don't talk about this to anyone ever. You understand?
Like, cause you can see him in the trailer talking about, because he said in the movie too, he was like, oh, you think we're bluffing? This is Detroit. We don't bluff. And I'm like I said, there are times in the movie where, because my first impression of him was when he shot that kid in the back, and I was just like, he's one of those guys. He's one of those, he's just, he's going to do whatever he can to get these people off the street. Talking about they're destroying the city. They're destroying the city. He didn't say the city is being destroyed. They are destroying the city. He just singled out black people as not just as another race, as another species. And when he's being interrogated later on, he tells them, they're telling him, oh, well, you did so and so. We know we know what you did. Your co-workers, they've already given their statements. And he said, what you did was wrong, right? And he's like, I'm trying to help here. They're interrogating him about the incident at the motel. And he's like, I'm trying to help here. He's basically saying, I'm trying to clean up these streets. I'm trying to get these criminals, these black people off the streets. Because at the motel, he basically called them, because since none of them are speaking, he's like, I'm just going to assume you're all criminals. And I'm just going to assume you're all criminals. And if we're honestly talking, you probably are. and it just got to me. And later on, when his coworkers are giving a statement, and one of the detectives takes a look at him, he's just standing there. He's not trying to look away, trying to look into something. He's just looking at him straight on, just smoking that cigarette. He's just like, he just staring at him, just dead on. Telling him like, I'm having a good day. How you doing? Because he thinks these guys are gonna take up for him, but they eventually just turn their backs on him. John Boyega. I enjoyed John Boyega's character also, because John Boyega was caught in a tough spot. He just wanted to do what is good. He just wanted to do what is good, because there was a scene earlier on where a boy was out past curfew and the cops are getting onto him, and he runs out there trying to take up for him. He's like, oh, this is my nephew. I'm sorry about him. He has a bad attitude. Let me just talk to him. And he brings him over to the side. He said, don't give them the chance. Don't give them the opportunity to do what they want to you, because you are acting erratic, acting like the stereotypical angry black man. And if you resist, they will shoot you without thinking. Don't give them the chance to do so. Don't give them the opportunity to do so, because you're smarter than this. And I think that's true, because there are some people out there that put themselves in a dangerous situation for no reason. I understand standing up for what you believe in, but then when things start getting carried out of hand, a gunshot goes off, rocks start being thrown at officers, the police come in with the tear gas, and you start fighting back. There is no reason for that. I believe there is no reason for that. Just go home. I understand staying up from you believe in, but there is a point where you're just like, there's a point where you just have to be like, at some time, this isn't my fight. I don't need to be out here doing this. I'm staying up from what I believe in. I'm not out here to get into an altercation that could cost me or any other innocent civilian my life. And John Boyega, that's what he was trying to talk to the boy about. And during the motel, when he makes his way to the hotel, he's caught in a tough situation. Because they believe him, because they see him as black, but they see him also wearing a uniform, so he's like, oh, okay, he's on our side. Will Poulter is watching him just to see what his reaction is throughout the ordeal. He's watching him. But he's caught in a tough situation. He's trying to calm them down. He's trying to calm them down. He's trying to talk to them one-on-one, like, come on, just tell us what you need to know. Just tell us where the gun is, and this can all be over. Don't make this harder on yourself than it needs to be. He's trying to talk to them, and he's trying to be the level head in a very uncomfortable situation. The film in all was tense. It was very tense. I'll get to my review of the film in a minute. Just talking about key points. I think his name's Algee Smith. I enjoyed his character too. His character was a standout. Probably in the list it was Poulter, Boyega, and then Smith. I enjoyed Smith's character because earlier on you see him, he's with his group, the Dramatics, and he's like, oh, we're gonna be stars, man. We're gonna be stars, we're gonna be singing for these folks, we're gonna make a lot of money, we're gonna become big stars, we're gonna make that money, we're gonna get some cars and stuff, we're gonna treat our family and our women to the way that they need to be treated. He just had an open mind to the situation. He's like, my dreams are gonna come true. But my dreams are gonna come true. But in after the incident of the motel, before the motel, during the motel, and after the motel, his demeanor, his attitude just makes a complete 360, and I really enjoyed seeing that from him. I really enjoyed seeing that. Because usually, like some characters, they go through an ordeal and they just never learn. They go back to their old ways. But just the situation that he was in, the predicament that he was in, and what he went through, that would change anybody. And I really felt the way that he portrayed that. And there was another scene, I picked up a lot of stuff from the film. There was a scene where Algee Smith has made his escape from the motel, and he's running, I think, on some train tracks, and he's stopped by an officer, and he's bloodied. He's battered, he's bruised, and one cop is just looking at him, shining the flashlight on. He's like, oh my God. He's like, oh, just calm down, everything's okay. And he's just like, oh my gosh, who could do this to someone? Yet, and he doesn't even know there was one of his own that did that. He was a Detroit police officer, and he doesn't even know that it was his own people that did that. And that it draws me to the case that, because I see posts sometimes talking about the cops. They're like, oh, I've seen posts on the Facebook and Instagram, the cops are the enemy. The cops are the enemy. All they want to do is kill white folks, kill black folks. That cop right there in that situation, he was an example of not all cops are bad. There were good cops and there were bad cops. The bad cops make a bad name for the good cops. He was just so shocked. He couldn't believe who could do this to someone, and he has no idea that it was one of his own people that did this. And I was just like, man, I was like, he doesn't even know. There were good cops out there and there were bad cops out there. We do not need to put them all in the same bowl, I guess. Just like there are just average black people trying to live their, just like there are average black people just trying to live their lives, just trying to make money to survive, to eat, get food, clothing, raise their children. They're just black people out there trying to live their lives. And then there are thugs out there that are looking for a fight. They're looking for a fight. They're trying to cause trouble. They're out here killing their own people. And we just don't need to put people in the same bowl, because there are different types of all types of people. Like our president says, there are not like our president, like our president has said in the past, like in contradictory to him, not all Hispanics are killers and rapists. Some are out here just like black people, just like any people. They're out here trying to make a living for themselves. They're trying to live their lives. They're already trying to live our lives. There are cops out here just trying to protect us, and then there are honestly cops out here that they take every opportunity that they can to rid the streets of these bad people. And I was just that hit me, like he's not the bad guy. There are bad people out there, but this cop in this scene, along with so many other cops out there in the streets, protecting and serving, they are not the bad guys. They're just out here trying to do their jobs, and the bad cops are out here giving them a bad name. Back to John Boyega, there was a scene near the end. I don't really think this is a spoiler, because this is something that we're pretty much all used to in these times. A cop does something that is awful, or does something that's awful, kills somebody, beats somebody, something to those extremes, and through lack of evidence, even not lack of evidence, there can be footage. There can be live footage, camera footage that has been submitted to the court, and they still get off. So I'm not really giving a spoiler. Where at this period in time, we're used to cops getting off with crimes that a normal human being wouldn't. But by the end of the film, the cops, including John Boyega, they pushed John Boyega into that category of cops that were involved in the Algiers Motel incident. Will Poulter, his goons, John Boyega, they all get off. They're all found not guilty of assault and murder, not guilty on all charges. And it was John Boyega's, like Will Poulter shaking the lawyer's hands. He's like, oh, thank you for doing us this justice. Thank you for finding justice for us by getting us off. John Boyega just stood there with a look on his face. There were tears in John Boyega's eyes, that he was just like, I wish, because he knows he didn't do anything, but they were all pushed in the same category. It was like a look in his face, like, I wish they would have, because I know I would have went down with him. Even though I would have went down with him, I sort of wish that we would have been found guilty. I know I would have been to jail, but they would have went to jail too. Justice would have been served for those killed on that awful night. It was just, he just stood there. He was just looking around. He was just tears were in his eyes. Like, that's what I picked up on it. I don't know if that was the message that they were trying to. If that was the message they were trying to give, but that's just what I picked up on it. Like, the look on his face was like, I wish, like, that the result would be me going to jail, but I sort of wish that we would have gotten caught, that we would have been found guilty. At least justice would have been served then. I'm about to wrap it up. I know this is long, about this 30 minutes is longer than I thought it was going to be. What time is it? Oh dang! I gotta get to class in a minute. I'm about to wrap it up. But another thing I want to point out, I'm almost done. Is the director Kathryn Bigelow? Her directing was, I thought her directing was top notch, because I've seen The Hurt Locker, I've seen Zero Dark 30. Comparing Detroit to those two films of hers, I do think it's up there with one of her best. I do think it's up there with one of her best. The directing was incredible. The camera work, I enjoyed. I picked up a lot from. And there was something I heard a while back talking about how they were disappointed in her how they were disappointed in her being the one to direct this film. Talking about, like, it was something like, oh well, she's a white woman telling a black story. That's what I heard, something like that. I'm talking about, oh, they should have got a black director to a black story, because what does she know about the struggle? I just have to say this. It shouldn't matter who directs the film, as long as they are able to give the message. That's how I feel. As long as they're able to give the message, I don't think it matters who race it was, because I believe that Kathryn Bigelow probably did a better job with this than most black directors could. I'm not trying to discredit their talents. There are very talented black directors out there, but Kathryn Bigelow, I think did as good, if not better, than most black directors out there. It should not matter race. It should not matter the race or gender of whoever is telling the story, as long as they tell the story. As long as they tell the story, because the tagline for this film is talking about the world, like, needs to know. And through this film, through her directing, through the acting of Will Poulter, John Boyega, Anthony Mackie, John Krasinski, Jacob Lattimore, Algee Smith, the story is now known. And that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. It doesn't matter who tells the story, as long as the story is told. And I think she told it as good. I forgot. Let me look it up real quick. I forgot the Mark Boal. He did the screenplay for Detroit. I think he's worked with Kathryn Bigelow on The Hurt Locker too. I can't remember which one. I think it's one of those two, The Hurt Locker or Zero Dark 30. Might be both. But I think the team of those two. The team of those two told the story better than most people out there right now. And it doesn't matter the ethnicity, as long as the story's told. And I credit them for that. Okay, I'm wrapping it up. My review of the film. Like how I base most films that I go see. I rated as I will not see this movie again. I would rent this movie if I was able to, or I would buy this movie. And out of those three, I would have to rule this a buy. Out of a. I don't know, how would I call that? Well, anyway, you heard it the first time. I would most definitely buy this movie. I'll most definitely buy this movie. It is a tough watch. I have to admit, it is a tough watch. I sat there, just not with my arms crossed, but I just sort of just sat there, just indifferent.
Wrong answer.
Oh, no. That's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. But I was just like. I was just taking it all in. And it's a tough watch. There are things in this movie. If you are kind-hearted, if you have a soft heart or something like that, then, I mean, if you want to watch it, you go check it out, but I just don't recommend it for people. I don't recommend it for people that don't like to see people go through struggle. They go through struggle and pain, like the people the residents of the Algiers Motel had to go through, and just it's tough. It's a tough watch. There's blood. It's bloody. There's bloody. They're beating them. There's just it's a great film. It's a great film. One of the top films of this year, in my opinion. But it was a tough watch. But I would definitely watch it again. I give this film a buy. I would definitely buy this movie if it came out on DVD. Most definitely. Anyway, I know this was long. I apologize for that. I did not expect this to be this long, but there were many points that I had to call out. There were many points that I had to say something about this movie. And well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, give this video a like, share it, comment a film that you want me to review next. I mean, if you like this, if this gets a good backing, then I might do this again. And yeah, well, I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Go check out my other videos, and catch y'all later.